Yo, what's good, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. And so in today's video, I wanted to discuss with you guys my initial thoughts on the Nothing Phone 3A. As you guys know, my journey right now is with Nothing Technology and CMF. And I am really interested in the Nothing Phone 3A, and I'm hoping to get one here soon so that way I could not only use it personally as my daily driver, but also share that experience with you guys and keep you guys updated on how the phone does. Now, there are some things that I'm being seeing tossed around the internet and different content creators and what they're saying, and so I'm kind of like addressing all of that in this video, and just giving you guys my thoughts on it. So, before we get started, if y'all can do me a solid, smash the like button because it truly helps out my channel, and it only takes a couple of seconds, as well as turning on bell notifications so you guys don't miss a video upload. And shout out to all the ones who just now clicked the subscribe button. I appreciate y'all. And let's get into it. So, the Nothing Phone 3A is available to pick up in the US market right now. There's only one variant that's available for the US beta program, and that is the one that is basically 256 gigabytes of internal storage and 12 gigabytes of RAM, and that goes for $379 US. So, if you decide to, order one, you'll get it, it'll come to you and everything like that. But there are a few things that you need to kind of understand about Nothing. And these are things that I'm willing to cope with, but maybe some of you guys are not. So, aside the fact that you see, content creators getting their hands on the Nothing Phone 3A or the 3A Pro, and you're like, oh, I'm going to go get me one too. You have to consider a few things. One is obviously the network carrier that you are on. These devices work great with T-Mobile and T-Mobile MVNOs, and they don't work so great with AT&T and Verizon. I know this for a fact. I've put my US Mobile Dark Star SIM in my Nothing Phone 1, and it just stays on LTE. Um, I've had it working on Mobile X with Verizon connection, but after letting them know that that's what the phone was when they asked me during a troubleshooting issue, and then they literally like, your phone's not compatible with the network, and then it never connected again. Like, I'm pretty sure it's blacklisted, and so it will not function on Verizon for some odd reason. But anyhow, I digress. Yeah, so if you're using like, T-Mobile postpaid or T-Mobile prepaid or Metro by T-Mobile or Mint Mobile or Helium Mobile or, any of the other MVNOs out there, US Mobile Lightspeed, any of those that are T-Mobile based will probably bring you the best network connection experience that you can have with the Nothing Phone device, right? But if you have Verizon, you're probably not gonna like the services on the phone. Same way with AT&T. Hopefully, the Nothing Phone 3, which is our next flagship that's coming soon, addresses this and it is fully compatible with US carrier networks. But for right now, they're in a beta testing program, and so the Nothing Phone 1, the 2, the 2A, the 2A Plus, the 3A, and the 3A Pro. These devices are best used on T-Mobile network. So you gotta keep that in mind. So a little bit more here, one of the things that I think I'm absolutely happy about is that, when it comes to smartphones these days, it seems like that we only get a pair of camera sensors, and majority of them is always a wide angle main shooter and then an ultra wide. Nothing Phone 3A brings in telephoto in two forms. We got a regular telephoto lens on the Nothing Phone 3A, and then on the 3A Pro, we got a periscope telephoto lens, which literally acts like, what you think of the word periscope and a submarine. Okay, so and that's the difference between them. So with the Pro model, you get a little bit better of a zoom. But anyways, here are some of the things to kind of just know about the Nothing Phone 3A, right? So, I mean, they tout out an elite camera system because obviously for a mid-range device, and keep in mind, the Nothing Phone 3A and 3A Pro are mid-range devices. They're not Nothing Technologies flagship devices, okay? That comes in the form of the Nothing Phone 3, which will be out later on this year. More than likely with that one, we'll have a Snapdragon 8 Gen Elite. We'll see. Maybe, maybe not. But that's for another video. Anyhow, you got a 32 megapixel selfie cam in the front, so that's a decent camera sensor to take good selfies. True Lens Engine 3, advanced camera software powered by AI. And you got the Snapdragon processor with AI engine. So that is the Snapdragon 7S Gen 3. I think, yeah, 7S Gen 3 that this phone is using. And there are some caveats to having that processor chip in this phone, but it's something that I think people need to know. You need to decide for yourself if this is like a deal breaker for you guys, right? 30 times ultra zoom. And I think this is just more pointing towards like having that telephoto lens. Obviously, nothing OS 3, and it's going to get made three major software. So the life expectancy of the Nothing Phone 3A is going to be until Nothing OS 6, and then that would be end of life as far as major software update. Maybe after that, maybe like a year or two of security patches, and that's it. Okay. One cool thing about the display is that you would have no problem looking at your device in sunlight. It's got 3,000 nits of peak brightness on the display. That's pretty awesome. It a 5,000 milliamp hour battery as well to keep this sucker powered for a good length of time, and a whole plethora of other different features and stuff like that. That's actually like pretty cool. But when it comes to the Snapdragon 7S Gen 3 processor chip, one of the things that a lot of content creators are pointing out is that it does not support recording 4K 60 frames per second. It is 4K 30, and then you got 1080p and, you know, um, 30, 60, 120, and I think 240. Um, and then there's this judgment on it where it's just like, they couldn't do 4K 60, and it's kind of like getting ripped on that. And I'm gonna address that here right now. This is a mid-range device, and while it would be lovely to have 4K 60 frame recording, it does not, and it's not a deal breaker. Like, I can see this being ripped because, you know, if it was a flagship, if it was marketed as a flagship, if this was Nothing Technologies flagship device, then yeah, I mean that's something that's going to be like, why not? But for a mid-range device, something that is not to really break your wallet. Obviously, you can see here you can buy it now for $379. 12 gigabytes, 12 gigs of RAM, 256 gigabytes of internal storage. Um, it is meant to be mid-range budget, budget line for Nothing, and to be affordable for those people who don't want to spend a lot of money. One of the other cool things that this device is bringing. I mean, I know that Carl Payne doesn't really like using the terminology AI, but they're having their own, I guess you can say, smart assistant that's dedicated to Nothing OS with the essential button that these devices come with. And no, this will not be backwards compatible to, Nothing Phone 2A, 2A Plus 2, or Nothing Phone 1. Like those devices will not receive this. Obviously, maybe they might. Maybe, Nothing might change their mind and make it accessible later on down the road. But for right now, because this is a new feature, for right now, it's only available for the 3A and the 3A Pro. And really, all it is just what we've had with like Google Now and Google Assistant and Gemini. Um, it's just something that you can use as what they refer to as a second brain. And you it can organize your audio recordings because you can make an audio note. You could type out a note and it'll organize that. You can take pictures of things, and it relatively just kind of like sections it and groups it in like subject matter. So it's pretty cool, right? Like, if you see things, you want to take a quick picture of it because you want to remember it for later, and maybe you're doing it for like a side project, or you're doing it for work or hobby or whatever. Like, it can organize that. Yeah, that's pretty nice. I really wish that these companies would actually built in a native email app that was almost identical to the Gmail inbox, right? Remember Inbox by Gmail? How it would organize your stuff really well. I mean, I know they implemented some of the organizations into the main Gmail app, but they didn't implement exactly how Inbox was. I miss that app. And I think that, a native email app that can do what Inbox did way back in like, 2011, 2012, I think would be beneficial, but that's for another time. All in all, I'm very impressed with the Nothing Phone 3A, and really, really, really want to get my hands on one so that way I not only can just, go off of what the website says, but actually be able to deliver you guys my own personal experience. And maybe I'll get that ordered when I get back from vacation. So maybe in the month of April will be the month of the Nothing Phone 3A and reviews and stuff like that. So be on the lookout. It's gonna be a month late compared to everybody else that got theirs, but you know what? They can put out their review videos. The dust can settle on their thoughts, and then I can share with you guys my thoughts. So, if you guys enjoyed uh, what I had to say about the Nothing Phone 3A currently at this point, smash the like button. Again, like I said, I appreciate that. Only takes a few seconds. Turn on bell notifications so you don't miss a video upload or when I go live. And I will talk to you on the next one. And as always, aloha.